assume so. Since they already did like their team arrangements of where they're doing pick order and whatnot.
Yeah, alright, sounds good. But anyways, I do believe we are live right now, so I just want to introduce the stream to anyone that might be watching on this late Wednesday night. We are here for the Capital One Circuit 2016 lower bracket finals between Team FeelsBadNA and Team 10. I do believe we are ready to go.
I like how they're still Team 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a very exciting team name, but at least they've stuck true to it and found success.
Sure, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm not...
Casters, right? Oh, true. I'm just staring at chat, I'm like, what?
I was born ready to cast.
That's an awkward moment. I was trying to go to the UMD LOL dashboard, and I realized I'm not even logged into the UMD Twitch account, so I was a little confused, but the stream should be going on already nonetheless, and looks like the chat is saying no memes, only trying hard. So UMD LOL. Let me just read the password out loud to the stream. Alright, there we go.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for UMD. There it is.
I need to update the title of the stream too. Whoo, baby. Alright, but we're ready to start whenever they are. Alright, looks like FeelsBadNA is going to be starting on the red side for game 1. I do believe this is a best of 5 unless I'm mistaken.
I think it's best of 3. I don't know.
Sometimes, usually the finals are best of 5, but considering it's starting at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday, if people are getting really busy for finals, I could see if I would be able to understand if they wanted to change it to make it a best of 3 instead. If both teams feel comfortable, that's still an accurate representation of their skill.
True. I mean, hopefully, you gotta ask and see if the teams agree on that. If not, then we're gonna be here for up to 5 hours.
Yeah, and sorry everyone if some of this information and still getting stuff up is a little bit scattered. I literally just figured out about this about 30 minutes ago when after I got home. I was on campus for like 8 or 9 hours today working in my psychology lab. But, so I just came home and figured out, alright, time to cast a best of 5 until like 3 or 4 a.m. if it gets to 5 games. I don't even know if it's a best of 5, but looks like Poppy and Zach going to be the first bans.
I have not casted these teams in a month or so, maybe a couple weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't even remember what they play.
It's been quite a few weeks since Ramanuja gave me the big old D, so we can go ahead and remember that happened.
I'm sure that's something that you don't easily forget. It looks like Shyvana and Brand also going to be banned out here. And I did actually cast Team 10, who's on the blue side right now, a couple days ago for their semifinal match, and they made great use of Zach and Bard, if I remember correctly. So I would not be surprised at all if Red Team decides to take that away. They did ban the Zach first, so doing a little bit of research, and Ramanuja was so comfortable on that Poppy, so both these teams know what's going on.
It's just been so long since I've done this.
Yeah.
Darius. Is Camille out yet? That's a horrible question.
I do not believe Camille is out yet. Although, I did actually have to patch before loading my client today, so maybe she's out and I just don't realize it. Maybe... Oh, actually, wait. I'm looking at this champion list, and if you guys look right next in between Caitlyn and Cassiopeia, there is an icon for her, but it doesn't look like she's like grayed out, so I don't know if she's available, but she's in there. Anyways, Bard gonna be the first pick. I mentioned how great the Team 10 used it when I cast them last time, so I'm happy to see him return to form there. Chunkster, Appa, and B-Coops locking in the Caitlyn Karma bottom lane, going for that very strong early game.
They are going to have a very nice pushing lane down there, at least guaranteed to win. Not guaranteed, but depending on how... Bard... I haven't seen him play Bard, so I want to see how this is going to go for him.
Murderous Indian and I Am Baby Groot also picking up champions they've played in the past, so...
I like that name, I Am Baby Groot.
I am Groot. Yeah, but wait, why isn't he playing Maokai? Hello? God.
Oh, yeah, reported.
Or the Ivern. I think Ivern's baby Maokai, isn't it? I mean, he's a little taller, I guess, but
Tall, lanky Maokai.
tall, lanky Maokai. His brother wasn't quite as good at sports when he was a kid.
Or maybe he's on the basketball team. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Could be a runner,
He might
cross
be
country,
very-
track and field.
True.
Those usually have pretty slim bids. I don't remember if I've seen FeelsBadNA play Graves. It has been a week or two since I cast them, but I have cast them several times, and I do want to point out that they have saved Come and Get It for their last pick. I know that she plays one very mean specific pocket pick in the mid lane that I've personally casted multiple times, so I'd be very excited to see that come out here. But looks like Chill Pill going for that Israel. That's another champion he's played before, so this entire team... Oh, actually Fizz is kind of new, but 4 of those champions on comfort picks.
Have you seen Ramanuja play Gnar? I don't know if I've seen Ramanuja play Gnar.
It sounds
I've
familiar.
seen him play Poppy.
I know his Poppy was really on point, but I do believe he has played
Gnar was
Gnar
his
in the
top
past.
3. His
Really?
Poppy was much more comfortable, but he was good with the Gnar as well.
All right, looks like they're hovering the Lulu right now. First, we can talk a little bit about Blue Team's composition. They have really, really strong engage. That's the first thing I look at when I see this, with the Bard ultimate, followed by the Slicing Maelstrom and the Glacial Prison. Just going to be a super wombo combo swarm of ultimates.
They also have a very, very hard lockdown with lots of CC on their team, whereas the red team over here, I'm seeing more of a poke comp, it looks like. Just
Yeah.
high damage, but the lockdown on blue team is just scary just looking right now.
Yeah, it looks like red team's gonna be gonna be a little bit maybe lackluster in terms of damage late game. They do have that Caitlyn, but as far as the Lulu and Karma go, they're not really going to be contributing a lot, especially when you're looking at the likes of a Sejuani in the jungle. Chunkster Appa might have a difficult time kind of shredding through that tank line when he has to deal with things like the Fizz and the Kennen at the same time. I also want to point out that blue side, Team 10 here, almost has no wave clear. So if they fall behind, it's going to be really difficult for them to hold their towers safely.
Ezreal ults.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that once every few waves. That is indeed true. Let me post this on Facebook.
Ezreal's really all they're going to have. It looks like he's going to be the wave clear. He's going to be the poke. I mean, I guess Kennen and Bard have some poke. They're really going to be relying hard on this easy, I feel like.
I don't know. I'm kind of hyped to see a Bard in the tournament here. Great champion if you used right, hard.
Yeah.
Not.
He scales so well with the level of teamwork that your friends can bring, and I've seen him do some sick, nasty stuff in their semifinal match, so I would not be surprised if he carries this game. That being said, I've seen several of Come and Get It and her team perform pretty well too, so this is going to be a pretty hype matchup. I'm not entirely sure how many games it will go to, but they do have at least one game of leeway if maybe this first set of compositions doesn't work out for either side.
That is true.
Alright, I'm going to be right back while I grab a drink, because I didn't really have enough time to get it beforehand. So you guys can discuss.
I'm going to go ahead and give my favor to the blue team right now. I just think their team's going to scale better, and that CC is going to be way too much to mess with.
I'm just gonna hostile take over the stream right now. Welcome to my stream now, everybody. Ha! All right, I don't want any more. Take it back.
It's my stream now. Look at me. I'm the captain.
Real. I don't know. I can't say much yet because I haven't seen any of them play really recently. But I am very hyped for this Bard. Very hyped for this Bard.
I'm really hoping that he's going to use his roaming potential, because Bard's roam is so incredible. I hope that he doesn't just get stuck in this lane with that whole Come and Get It Chunkster duo, because that's going to be pretty scary to mess with. I know it gave my team a lot of difficulty, so we'll see how it goes from here.
Were they the team that knocked your team out?
No, they were our first loss though.
Oh, right. I think I cast that one back in the day. Back in the day.
I believe this was the team that Ramanuja went Aurelia and just stomped the game.
Dude, Aurelia is such a good pick, in my opinion. Just gets on the new assassins and the whole new like meta of assassins. But
I'm curious to see how this poke comp works though, because if the poke comp does not work and they let this blue team kind of build to their potential, I feel like they're gonna be at a loss. But the poke comp has been very strong recently. We'll see how it works in this meta.
if they're not ahead by like the 20-minute-ish mark, they're gonna really fall off as it gets into late game at that point.
Yeah, I think you definitely have a point, and especially when you look at the jungle matchup as well, Sejuani versus the Graves. Sejuani's definitely going to have a pretty long lull where she just can't really impact the map as much as FeelsBadNA can. So coupled with the fact that they have this Caitlyn Karma bot lane, they can shove super hard, and maybe Graves can make some plays happen down there. I'm really expecting to see FeelsBadNA to maybe make something happen in that bottom half of the map, maybe transition that into some dragons, especially if some infernal drakes come up that could really help them in terms of their late game scaling.
Look at all the pretty gold borders they got
Holy
going on
cow.
here.
And look at all these great skins. We got Dark Rider Sejuani, I've seen that before, Nottingham Ezreal, Snow Day Bard, Fisherman Fizz. Three fantastic skins plus Nottingham Ezreal. And then Headhunter Caitlyn, Riot Graves, and Ramanuja's still TBD, keeping us in suspense, Trump style. But we'll see what he brings
how
out.
they have a unified club thing over there.
Yeah,
with,
definitely.
Bad. Makes all
F-bad.
the difference.
If only they could match the skill level of
Long con.
Long
don't
Con.
Long con was the greatest team
Shameless
to ever
self-plugging.
grace. The greatest team
Shameless
to ever
self-plugging.
grace the UMD.
wait. I think I'm hearing some bias here.
I mean, I don't
Of course
know.
not. No.
They're just like, good. Reigning champs, I don't know.
Do you guys know what Graves' icon is? I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Looks like an arcade easy
Arcade
icon.
Ezreal?
Oh, did they have that?
I didn't even know that existed,
never
but
seen
it's
it before.
pretty cool.
I will say, while FeelsBadNA has the unified club name, whatever this blue team's name is,
Oh,
they do
yeah.
have a unified icon.
All the icons, that blue
The
sentinel,
icon.
they really don't want their blue buff to get stolen away. We'll see if they prioritize
I
that.
really hope it does, just so that, because you said that. I'm kind of rooting for the invade.
Maybe they're just gonna get 5 blue buffs every game. That's their
Exactly.
entire
More or
win
less.
condition. Once they get 5 blue buffs, it's like the pieces of Exodia. They just come together and the enemy team surrenders out of sheer shame.
That would be unreal.
Yeah, also want to point out Ezreal actually went for the Fervor for Battle Mastery, which is not nearly as popular as it was since they recently nerfed it. And they changed some of the damage to go from bonus damage on your auto attacks. Now it just adds a little bit of AD in addition to adding some damage. So that actually scales a little bit better with Ezreal because you can get more bonus from your Mystic Shot and your True Shot Barrage. But a lot of people have been, especially C9 Highest Balls, I've been talking to a Diamond 80 carry captain from the upper bracket who really loves talking about 80 carry builds. He says he's been really favoring the Warlord's Bloodlust for most 80 carries.
I think Warlords is a good pick. I mean, it's new-ish, I guess, in this current thing, because Fervor was so big on 80 carries.
Yeah.
But here's a dumb question. How do I get the little scoreboard thing to pop up with this new HUD?
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Just hit O, and that'll bring up the scoreboard, and you can press U to get rid of that weird timeline thing. The
You
U...
can also just hold tab.
Yeah, but that's like... No.
Hold tab for
fun.
all 40 minutes of the game. That might be a little tiring.
Don't
But
question
hey, man, if you're dedicated, you just do what works for you. If that helps you, helps you keep
Very
focused
true.
in this cast, I'd be happy if you can stay on top of that.
Just hire someone just to sit there and hold tab for you.
I will say, since we're talking about summoner spells, or not summoner spells, masteries,
Keystone.
I was really confused when I saw the Gnar without the Thunderlords. That is not typical from most Gnars that I've encountered.
Did you see what he's running? I didn't get a chance to look at all of them.
Keystone, I can't really remember what it's called.
The critical strike keystone.
The one that gives you lifesteal on every crit strike.
Oh wait, the Warlord's Bloodlust?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. That's a little interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually go like Courage of the Colossus, because in team fights, getting that big shield when you're using your Gnar ultimate, I think that would be pretty beneficial. I haven't played top lane very much in the preseason, but yeah, Warlord's Bloodlust I don't think I've seen before.
I play Gnar a lot. He's probably one of my mains, and it was just very interesting for me to see that. I've also played the Kennen matchup, and it doesn't really go in either one's favor. It really is just a skill matchup there. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, both these champions usually like to dominate their lanes with their ranged attacks, but if you're both ranged, then there's not really much you can do. Come and get it, applying a lot of pressure in her mid lane so far, though, being that ranged champion, like I was just talking about. But looks like Sejuani is actually coming around for possibly the first game. She reveals herself, and is the flash gonna come out? Yup, that's gonna be one summoner burn.
Miscommunication there, looked like, from the blue team.
Yeah, Sejuani
nicely
kind
timed
of
flash by Come and Get It, however.
Yeah, just playing better safe than sorry. Because if Lulu starts falling behind before Fizz even hits level 6, that's going to be a very scary lane to be in.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no vision for this bottom side. Looks like Graves gets spotted out. Is he going to go for the gank? No, he just backs off now that Bard knows that something fishy's going down. He's going to grab that Scuttle Crab.
That could have been tragic for Sejuani, being how low she was after that failed mid gank.
Yeah, now she's thinking about doing Raptors. This is gonna be, might be the most intense part of the match so far. She's getting actually really low on these. Okay, that Flail of the Northern Wind's gonna do enough damage for her, I think.
Not to call anyone out, but I remember Birdman Jr. had to flash away from Krugs, was it?
It was Krugs, Rise Jungle.
Ah,
Yeah, he was Rise Jungle in one of the games.
You'd be surprised how much damage those things do early game.
I mean, I guess you were surprised, apparently.
Definitely.
But Come and Get It,
surprised.
I Am Baby Groot, both trading back and forth. I want to point out that I Am Baby Groot has already used both of his health potions, but Lulu still has one, so Fizz is going to have to go back soon enough, especially with his wave pushing out right now. He does not want to fall victim to a Graves gank.
Also, just want to point out that Lulu does have exhaust, so if she does want to fight this, she does have the upper hand on this Fizz.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason why Assassins fell out of the meta in the first place. When they started making exhaust reduce overall damage instead of just auto attacks, that kind of puts them in a hole if your enemy mid laner starts running that. And especially as Lulu, if she can time her wild growth very well, it could be pretty difficult for Iron Baby Groot to make anything happen. Looks like making things happen might be happening in the top side. Murders Indian taking a lot of damage. He does burn his flash. He might get away, but the first blood comes from that boulder toss.
Well
very
played by
interesting.
Ramanuja and Arcanes over there. Arakes? I cannot read.
Araket?
Blue will not let that go punish. They're going ahead and trying to take this objective. They're going to try and get something for it.
Are we seeing a Karma steal? We're seeing that in attempt.
Spearfire gets blocked by bottom lane. Good response by the Sejuani, like you mentioned. At least that first blood was not for nothing. They do pick up that Ocean Drake. You're talking in Champion Select how the red team has a lot of poke potential if they get into siege situations. So that Ocean Drake definitely going to help out a little bit in that respect. And the next one's also Ocean, so this is not going to be a very fiery game, but we'll see if that plays a big role.
I saw that. I don't appreciate it, but I saw that.
Also, hello Rita saying hi in the chat. The first mod of the UMD LOL channel. Fun fact for any of you who don't know. Ram Ninja gonna be happy to try to get this CS. I don't know if alright, he got that one, but he missed a few there in a row. I was getting a little worried for him.
We'll say most lanes are pretty even other than this mid lane where Lulu's a little bit further ahead. Nothing too tragic for the Fizz, but if she does land this zone correctly, it could be very unbeneficial for Fizz, and he's going to really have to roam to get something useful.
I think the Sedge just warded red up there.
Yeah, it looks like she might be able to spot out Graves if he continues this rotation. But Gnar's actually going all in here with his ultimate. Is he gonna pick up another kill? Boulder toss number 2. That time he didn't need the help of his jungler, and Sejuani even comes by.
Decision
But
by Kennen not to use his ultimate with Sejuani so close. He could have ulted, put on some damage, and ran towards River to get that help from Sejuani, maybe even spun that.
yeah, Murderous Indian had played Kennen pretty well earlier on in the tournament, but maybe tournament nerves are getting a little bit to him right now because, like you said, there's no real reason not to burn your Slicing Maelstrom. You do not want this Gnar, who's one of the premier split pushers in the game, to be able to start getting ahead.
Especially on Ramanuja, who has shown that if he gets ahead early, he will snowball into the late game.
Alright, actually Chum the Waters does land a huge ultimate coming out from Fizz. Come and get it, has to pop the Wild Growth, and she's gonna try to get away. Has to burn the flash again. Meanwhile, Teleport might be coming in, but no. That might have been canceled by the Kennen?
Kennen ult.
Oh,
I'll say
okay.
that was a very beautiful escape played by that Lulu. She played that extremely well.
Yeah, also big props to Kennen, even though he kind of has misplayed a little bit in the 1v1. Being able to stop Gnar and abusing his arrogance, just trying to teleport in the middle of the lane, might have saved both of his teammates' lives. And Notorious Spook saying the quality of the stream is a lot better than usual. Thanks, I actually fixed the problem with the encoding. For some reason it got changed.
Was it bitrate? Because I know I had to like mess with my bitrate.
Yeah, I had it originally set to like 2500, but at some point it got got lowered, and I didn't realize it.
Sejuani may have to run from this red buff, and she gets it just by a narrow margin.
Man, that's the second time this happened. She's playing with fire there.
I will say, since this jungle patch updated, it is very scary. You do need to respect that jungle, because it does a lot more damage than it previously did. It's no longer about how quickly can you clear it. Now it's more so on the lines of, can you survive every game?
Definitely. So far, Sejuani's come ahead 2-0. But
are we seeing a gank mid by the Graves? I think we are. Fizz is gonna dodge. Bunch of abilities. Graves taking a tower shot. Not too well played by the red team there, but well played by I Am Baby.
This is just such a hard lane to gank. He has so much escape. He's such a trickster.
Indeed. Nice pun you got there, buddy. Ezreal already back to full health. I was a little bit worried because he was below half health from all the poke, but using the potions and that one Aqua Drake helping him out a little bit. And I was keeping an eye on his health specifically. Oh wait, meanwhile Fizz is ganking in the jungle. Looks like he actually is going to go in here, burns the flash. Graves tries to use the collateral damage to get away, but Lulu's ultimate comes out in the end.
Beautifully played. Oh, here comes the Bard plays I was hoping for. Oh,
Holy
man.
moly. That's going to be...
CC I was talking about. That lockdown is just going to be awful to deal with later on.
Good
yeah, you wanted King
Red
Crab to
Team
deliver,
bot.
and he has a plate of hot chocolate for you. I don't know why a hot chocolate would be on a plate. That might get messy, but actually, Kilexi is going to be tanking the tower. Arrakis just walks in and dies.
Very questionable call in that Graves.
Yeah, not respecting the enemy damage in the least. I think he assumed that Sejuani took tower aggro by accident, so he wanted to abuse that, but Sejuani has already got her Bomby Cinders, so she has extra 300 health already. Not going to be phased by those few shots.
And this red team really needed to have this early lead, since this Sejuani is going to be a huge tank late game, and their entire team just has so much CC. I'm really curious to see if Ramanuja is going to be able to swing it during the mid game, but with this CC, I'm very worried for this red team on what they're going to be able to do.
I'm kind of judging this Kennen CS silently. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, eh.
I'm like, come on, man, you can do better. You're in the finals. Don't give up now. Oh,
Make
is
us
he getting
proud.
Ugh, dang it. The camera shot away before I could judge him if he got that last melee, but I don't know if that worked out. He did get those two, though.
Oh, it looks like we might see a contested dragon. Contested dragon? Oh, but we see a Fizz coming up top to gank Ramanuja.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go in, and Ramanuja, using the hop, gets out of there scot-free.
And Red will be going for this second dragon. We'll see if the Easy can land the steal. Doesn't look promising, though. We shall see.
He does have blue buff, so he's going to have slightly lower cooldowns. Gets it pretty close.
Slightly close. Not that close.
I'll give him an A for effort, but...
I feel like if they really wanted to commit to that steal... is Bard's ult up? I can't really tell. Looks like it is. They could have tried something there.
Yeah, maybe they're a little bit afraid. Fizz wasn't quite close enough to join the fight yet. But that's the second time we've seen one team apply pressure top and the other one punish them for that. So now both teams have an Aqua Drake of their own. And pretty good responses from both these shot callers on these teams.
This is exactly
the next dragon is
Is
the next dragon Aqua Drake again? I think it is Ocean again.
Yep, we do have a third Ocean Drake in this game.
Just like the LCS. Bartle not connecting, but the Caitlyn
See
is
here.
getting away. Nice 90 caliber net to get out of that.
Chill
Fez
pill
taking advantage of the
Let her get
plan
away.
to the
It
flash.
doesn't look like it. Nope.
Nicely done. Oh, but mid lane. Oh, Lulu's gonna go down. Oh no, it's like
Oh, the last minute shield.
Lulu has such sustainability
well played
with
there.
her shields that it's just incredible the escape she can do.
Yeah, that's the danger of picking your solo lanes first and the benefit you can get from red side. Having that counter pick Lulu, she's been able to escape death 2 or 3 times this game at least, but was not enough for the Caitlyn. That means they're going to lose a little bit of damage on this mid lane tower. They might have to even give it away.
Really needs to take this turret up top soon so that Nar can get more into the fray, into these fights, because they're really going to need him to spiral this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised Graves is staying top, though, because they're about to lose a mid lane turret, which is a lot more dangerous pressure-wise when you're playing against things like the Bard and Fizz. I would much rather have that mid lane turret, but a good double Cosmic Binding. Picking up maybe a kill, but no, come again, it might be getting in a little too deep here. The 90 caliber net comes out and gets enough burst damage to get 1 kill for the Caitlyn. Exhaust comes out on the Ezreal to stop him in his tracks. This might be the end of the fight, but blue team getting a little bit punished.
Play by the blue team there.
They're
Not sure
getting a
why
bit
they went
antsy.
through that passage there. Not sure what they were trying to get out of it.
But they did get the turret up top, so.
It does
wasn't
unlock the Gnar,
hard.
lets him roam a little bit more, and now we're going to see exactly what a 2-kill, 106 CS Gnar can do in the mid-game. He does have his Black Cleaver, and it looks like he will be going for that Frozen Mallet's second item, potentially. That would be my guess.
Yeah, Frozen Mallet is super helpful with that split push. And against a Kennen, it's not maybe the most important thing, but it definitely does help if you can start to land those consecutive autos. It just becomes a bit of an issue once Kennen gets his Lightning Rush back up, because I don't know if you can continue to outpace him even with the Frozen Mallet. We'll see, more importantly, if Ramanuja can survive this possible tower dive in the top tower.
Oh,
And there's that giant shark.
Yeah. The
Luckily,
changes
he
to...
just barely dodged, mistimed his W or whatever his pole is to dodge the shark.
Indeed, and I Am Baby Groot seems to be really comfortable with the recent Fizz changes where they made his ultimate scale with the distance it was cast from. So it rewards you for making those dangerous ultimate throws by doing it max range, and he's landed several of those really huge sharks.
The sad part is I had no idea that that was changed.
Looks like they will be claiming the Rift Herald, and Red Team has nothing to contest it.
Yeah,
Looks
Rift
like they'll
Herald,
probably will end up on the Fizz.
pretty
Red Team even
uncommon
has
objective.
vision.
It takes so long to get. Red team might have the opportunity to punish that by shoving mid because the entirety of blue side is kind of low, but looks like they're actually going to catch him mid roam, and a good Tempered Fate stops Karma in her tracks. She's going to be possibly caught out, but no, she flashes over and now come and get it in the middle of the enemy team. They're gonna
I
be
respect
forced
this
back.
Bard. I respect this Bard. That was well played.
Yeah, I warned you, man. This Bard is pretty freaking dope.
That
He
ult
was-
did isolate the Caitlyn at the time. I mean, that was, I don't know. That was well played. I liked it. I approve. I approve.
Yeah, either that's one kind of thing. I play Bard a lot, and one thing that's a little subtle is that if you're deciding, oh man, where should I aim the Tempered Fate? A lot of times, aiming like in front of them, like a little too far in front, is better than aiming a little too far back. Ramanuja actually might get a thing. I'll continue this in a second. Okay, he doesn't actually go through with it. But yeah, because if you put the ultimate too far in front of them, then okay, their only option to dodge it is to back up. And if they back up, then like you saw, you can jump on them with everyone trying to catch up. Whereas if you put it a little too far back, then if they use their cooldowns to dodge it, then they're getting away even further. So just, I really like that subtle touch he had with his ultimate placement.
Yeah, he definitely shows that he played, or has played Bard a bunch, and he knows the mechanics and how to play him as far as playing part of a team.
Yeah, this Infernal Drake coming up in 10 seconds. We talked about how important it is for the red side because they might be lacking a little bit of teamfight damage in the late game. Well, oh no, come and get it. Might be actually getting cut off from a team there. This is really bad positioning for the rest of FeelsBadNA, but they do pick up a kill. It's going to be 4v5. Looks like Murderous Indian does have a good spot. He gets his Slicing Maelstrom on 3 people. That's going to be a double kill for the Ezreal. His fervor for battle is continuing to stack in this long team fight, and they're already going to get a 4-kill turnaround for Team 10's side. They all tumbled down to try to get that 1 kill on Sejuani, afraid
And the
of the
Bardo.
Glacial
There's the
Prison.
lane.
Holy cow,
Oh,
and gets
man.
the perfect Cosmic Binding. Casts it so it goes past the current minions, catches on the last one as it comes out of the invulnerability to stun the enemy Caitlyn on the backside. So really crisp team fighting from Team 10.
I will say that was a great idea on the red team to go for that Sage right before Dragon's coming up, but I think as soon as they got our load, they should have just backed out. They overcommitted there, and blue team punished them for it.
Definitely. And I do want to mention that red team, right now, some of their wards have died out, but generally this game, they've had pretty decent vision coverage, and Team 10 has been mostly losing on that front in terms of how many wards they have on the map. You can see, like, right now they only have 1 at 2 of their jungle entrances on the entire map. And I saw this in the game they played in the semifinals too, but when they have such hard engage, their entire team is so ready to jump on any go button. They've been able to kind of get by without having a lot of vision just because they're so on the same page.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. I also just want to take a look at the gold now. Prior to that fight, blue team only had about a 1,500 gold lead, but after that fight, they are now up closer to right around 3-ish.
Yeah. That
That's
3,000 gold lead is
doubling their
almost
lead.
entirely on the 80 carry difference too. If you look at their individual golds between Ezreal and Kaelin, that's ridiculous. I don't even know how he picked up all those kills.
Yeah, wow, I didn't even realize the S was 7-0.
Yeah, that team fight really working out for him. I also like the fact that he went for the Iceborne Gauntlet, and did not go for the Iceborne Gauntlet this game. Instead goes for the Trinity Force. That gives you more late game damage, and you don't need the extra slight engage tool that Iceborne Gauntlet gives you. And since the enemy team is going to be kiting away from you anyways, you don't need it to kite back either. So that's just working out, but a 3-man ultimate for both teams. Looks like Ramanuja gonna be getting the enemy team pretty low. Karma and Coming getting fall really far down, and that's actually gonna be a double kill for the Kennen so far. I don't know if FeelsBadNA can come back
That was a great
yet.
play by Ramanuja, but an even better play by King Crab. That ultimate just completely setting Ramanuja apart from his team,
This
leaving
Bard.
him open for the taking, and it was just...
I'm just smiling watching this Bard.
This is pretty incredible to see. I want to point out that there are several people on both sides that haven't upgraded their trinket. even though they're level 9. So just want to give a friendly reminder to everyone in the chat that might be watching, make sure you upgrade your trinkets past level 9. So far, it's been the team fights deciding this one, so maybe not quite as relevant this game, but just want to throw it out there. 4 C9 highest balls, who it really tilts him whenever I cast with him.
I remember back last semester, I would never upgrade my trinket, and it was horrible. It would be like level 13. I'd be like, oh, I gotta do this.
Oh,
start
man.
yelling at me.
Caitlyn has just finished a Runan's Hurricane. We'll see if that does anything for their team fight. That is such a core item with Caitlyn now, though, so it might be able to help her out a little bit.
Yeah, and looks like all of blue side is kiting back. I was going to say it's really dangerous because FeelsBadNA does not have a really great way to make a hard engage happen besides Ramanuja flashing forward. But since his flash is still on cooldown, they don't want to get into a clumped up area to get 5-man Temper Fate, because that would be disaster scenario. And they're getting pretty close here. I don't know if the Bard wants to turn this around.
Ooh.
Looks like Arrakis is getting really low. He goes in with the Magical Journey. And there's the Tempered Fate I was talking about.
Damn.
Sejuani going to be able to follow up. The stun actually only hits Chunkster Appa. But that's not going to matter. The rest of Red Team is pretty much dying before this fight can really get underway.
The Gnar just walked straight out to Bush, and no one even batted an eye, which is really
I think
interesting.
they're more concerned with taking the objective, which shows a lot of restraint on this team.
Yeah.
A lot of teams will be going for those kills when they've got the free objective, so I respect a lot of the restraint seen on this blue team for that.
They have great communication and pretty good macro game. I've seen a lot of good stuff come out of this team, but the Kennen is probably good. Not? Never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ramanuja
well.
actually misses that wall up, which could have been the Kennen's life and might have been the rest of this fight, but he does get the double stun. This is going to be a final turnaround. Magical Journey actually helping the enemy team a little bit. They're going to keep him within fighting distance, possibly. Looks like Chunkster Appa going to be happy to go back and get that farm top lane, but the shot call right now is a little bit inconsistent because you have the Caitlyn on top side, but you might want her to help
I'm
bring
not
down
sure
the
if they have the
Baron.
damage with Fizz being so close. I do not like this call at all. I'm not going to lie to you. This could be extremely detrimental.
This
The
could
Slicing
actually
Maelstrom is up,
decide
the
a big
Chum the
game.
Waters is up, everyone on red team is getting really low. This could be disastrous like you were talking about. Ultimate does land, look at that huge shark coming out, but shields are there to
Great
get
shield
them
right
to
over
safety.
there. And now their entire team basically is going to have to back here. Like I said, I really did not like that call, especially without Caitlyn being there.
Yeah, I guess, especially when you've been losing several fights in a row, when you get that one win, you definitely want to make the most out of it. So I can understand where FeelsBadNA is coming from, but just, you gotta keep your head a little bit level, understand that there are still 2 full health, very high threat enemies lurking around the jungle.
I do want to point out, while Fizz is a high threat, he really shouldn't be. He has 1 kill in 75 CS 25 minutes into the game. And I think that's where we're seeing that Shark did essentially nothing. I know the Lulu shield did help a lot, but still, when you think Fizz and you think Shark, you think this thing's gonna hurt, and that thing just kind of tickled off.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that, but I guess you have a point. All of this money is on Ezreal, who's now past the 10,000 gold mark. Caitlyn is still over 3,500 behind. They actually find the Karma a very, very strong call to throw out that Tempered Fate to get her willing to burn the ultimate for 1 catch, but this late in the game, that might be all you need.
This is the CC I was talking about during Champ Select that I was really scared and worried about for the red team. They are using this CC to the max effect every time he
Oh,
lands.
wow.
Holy cow.
Goodbye.
This CC
Yeah, that
is
was a ton of damage, and Murderous Indian with a
I don't
great
think there's anything the
Zhonya's
red team can
protecting
do.
himself against the Wob. This is going to be at least the inhibitor. Bard and friends actually flashing forward. That is going to be the first inhibitor. I don't know how much longer it feels that NA can keep going on unless they make some more calculated calls to their team fights. Are they even going to be up for this last turret into the Nexus?
I definitely think Gnar stayed in lane way too long. I realized that they wanted to go for the split push thing, but when the rest of your team is getting worked, and you do have that slight lead, I feel like you really need to throw your weight around a little bit on that Gnar into the early mid-game phases and let your team kind of catch up off of your very influential ults if you do it right.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
blue team gets banned right now, it's game. I mean, it's pretty much
looks like
game anyway.
I
Ezreal's
don't
gonna
even
be
think they're
picking
gonna
up
need
that
it, to be
top
honest,
farm.
but it might be an easy pick.
I saw a GG come out from the graves already. That was a little fast.
Little BM there, Arakis. Or wait, oh no, that's on the losing side. Okay, I was gonna say it's a little BM if the enemy team is like, yeah, we're so far ahead, GG, easy. But
I mean, they are like almost 10k ahead.
that might be a little bit telling of the kind of mindset FeelsBadNA might unfortunately be going through right now. Their surrender, they actually came out with a surrender vote and failed in the chat right
That's
there.
not good to see. I mean, you're in the championship finals, whatever this may be called, but at least give it your all. Surrendering's an easy way out.
Yeah,
You
and there
never
is.
know what's gonna happen in these games.
Yeah, there's
just-
always.
You make one
lots of
bad
ways.
call and your team can come back. If they could just, I mean, if you look at the farm, everybody's doing essentially what they needed to do. It's just this blue team CC is landing very well.
Yeah, and Kaylin goes for that Quicksilver Sash to try to deal with that like you were talking about. Unfortunately, if she gets caught by a Bard ultimate, that's not really going to help her because you cannot cleanse out of the invulnerability stasis. It doesn't count as a debuff, it just, your champion disappears, kind of. But,
Also, kind of questionable about this Nars Frozen Mallet pickup. I think after you see that your team's starting to fall behind, you really need to build that tank build. Probably go a little bit more tanky. I guess his thought process might be he's the only one that's going to be able to kill people. But you really need to have more faith in your team, because right now they don't have a true tank, and that's just going to be even worse as it gets further into late game.
I agree with you 100%, and Graves actually trying to solo the cannon would have gotten the kill if it weren't for that great Zanya's. Is he actually going to get it? Yes! Does get the shutdown onto Kennen. Great pickup there, but is the rest of the team going to be able to follow? He needs to actually back right now and help out his friends. Come and get it. Gets hit up by the Chum the Waters. Does not do any damage. Barely breaks through the shield.
Again,
Like,
it just kind of tickles him.
the ticklefish coming around. Maybe it's a cuttlefish, actually. B-Coops does get hit up by that Glacial Prism because I think she, it was actually aimed for the Karma. Or, sorry, not the Karma, but the Lulu. But it looks like the rest of the fight is going to be going through. Arakas does get the exhaust on him, and he's going to try to finish it off. But a knockup comes out. Does not matter. King Crab actually...
Talk about how overpowered this redemption item is right now.
Yeah, Redemption is pretty ridiculous. Just the fact that it gives you an AoE heal in addition to AoE damage is pretty absurd. Not to mention the fact that its true damage is affected by your heals and spells, costs almost nothing, has a low cooldown, and can be used while dead, in addition to the huge range. It's pretty much insane.
It should be a mandatory item on almost all supports. It's just too overpowered right now.
Yeah, and
I
looking
just
at the...
like that they allow supports to do something after they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, when I play games, I'm always feeding anyway, so now I can
Yeah,
at least
I mean-
contribute to the team.
I do want to go to your
I
point
kinda
where
feel
you
like
said the
Carthage.
Bard was going to be super influential this game. He assisted 17 out of the 20 kills his team had.
He went
Yeah.
perfect. 0017.
He played
Oh my
exactly how you
God.
want your support to
It's
play.
an 85% kill participation rate, which is more than pretty much any LCS player when you look at their games. So very, very impressive performance by King Crab. Looking into the next game, I think that might be something that can go on the ban list.
I'd be very surprised if I don't see it on the ban list.
If they do not ban the Bard, I don't think they really want to win, because that was definitely one of the most influential parts of that game.
Alright, guys in the chat, do you want me to restart the stream real quick so I can change the audio from stereo to mono? Because a couple people were saying that it's randomly changing which ear it comes out of, which I don't even understand how that's possible.
I blame their headphones.
Well,
When
there's
in
more
doubt,
than
it's
one
their
person
fault.
that said it, so I'll take the blame. I don't quite understand. Also want to give Ezreal a shout out for barely eking out his Kennen by, how much damage is that, like 150 or something? Just barely doing
It
a
was
little more
almost
damage.
negligible, but it still matters because he was number one.
Also, the Gnar had the most damage on the red side. You're talking about his more DPS heavy build. and that kind of reflected in his damage, but it was also reflecting the fact that he was dying pretty frequently in the fights.
I will say that is a core Gnar build. You build those 2 damage items and then go into your tank build, but when your team is that far behind that early, I feel like it's really kind of you kind of have to just go for it and be like, you know what, I have to have faith in my team. I got to build what the team needs, not what my build needs.
Alright, so I'm just going to restart the stream real quick so I can change the audio settings, but we'll be back in just 1 second. So bear with me.